Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Mackay T Podcast. Here are your hosts, Ryan Mackay and T Davis.
This is the Mackay T Show. This is the Mackay T Show. We talk movies and TV shows, sports and world news, coasting like on a world cruise. Hosted by Brian Mackay and T Davis. Yeah, you can't tame us. We're going to the top, we're becoming famous.
What time is it?
It's time for the Mackay T Show.
What time is it?
I said it's time for the Mackay T Show.
Welcome back to the Mackay T Show podcast. T, we're gonna jump right into Chantin Rantin, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Okay.
I am ready. Locked and loaded.
All right. Well, you sound pretty enthusiastic, so I'll go first, and then we'll let you just,
Yeah, because I got plenty to say.
Yes.
And I'm sure you'll have some add-ins on this one.
Well, my Chantin Rantin today is about what is going around the internet being called the romp hymn. It is rompers for men. Let me just say, for the record, any of my friends that are listening, any of my male friends, if I see you out there looking like somebody's sister, brother, aunt, uncle, if I see you out there in one of these, you will get clowned. You will be talked about. You will get plenty of pictures taken of you. Because I'm sorry, I've tried so hard. Now, this all comes about way back. If anybody remembers, we talked about Cam Newton on here.
I can say Cam had one on at Coachella.
Yes, at Coachella. He brought it about. I mean, he's basically the biggest person as far as fame to start wearing these things. Now, I just can't get with them. They don't look good on men, especially big tall guys. No, you're not supposed to show
no
that much
guys.
leg.
Okay, let's reverse that. No guys, unless you're a baby, a little toddler.
Right, little onesie is fine for little babies, but rompers for me, that you're not supposed to show that much neckline. You're not supposed to show that much thigh meat. It just. I'm fine with your short shorts. And I'm fine with your neckline. It all shouldn't just be one piece. No, it needs to be two separate pieces.
2 pieces. Please, 2 pieces. I can't. When you call me, when you text me about the romp, I was like, Lord, let me look that up, because I had no idea. Then my other sibling was like, yes. I was like, oh, Lord, this is a real thing. Oh, Lord have mercy. I can't. It's too early in the morning.
If I go anymore, I'm going to be sick. So go ahead with yours.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Look at here. Kristen Leahy, whatever your name is.
Yes, Leahy. Mm-hmm.
If everybody hasn't heard, she had a little disagreement with LeVar Ball. Who's surprised about Mr. LeVar Ball being a part of it? Nobody, probably. So, I have plenty to say to all three of them. Brian, do you want to break down what happened before I go into my little Chantin rant?
Okay. LeVar Ball was on Colin Cowherd's show on Fox Sports 1. Kristen Leahy is kind of like his cohort, his side person. I don't really know what her contribution is. She sits off back behind
like she
Cowherd she's like up in a booth. And if anybody's ever seen Lip Sync Battle, it's not quite as up as John Legend's wife. What's her name?
Right.
Kristen Teigen.
This legend. This legend.
Chrissy Teigen. Not far as high as she is, but it's off to the side in her own little booth. And she just every once in a while she'll throw a question out there, a comment, what have you. And what happened in this particular situation, it dates back to a previous show where she was very, very critical of how LeVar Ball raised his children, and and how he's doing things. She's very critical of his situation. Obviously, a lot of people have been, but she was, she gave her own 2 cents. And in this particular episode, Colin and LeVar sitting there, they're talking, and she, comments from her booth. I don't know any other way to describe it. She comments from her booth, and he basically doesn't even turn around, doesn't even give her any eye contact, nothing. He just kind of puts his hand back there, tells her to stay in her lane, and and she's always coming for him, and this, that, and the fifth, and Colin basically was trying to tell him.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
So now I see this and I'm like, okay, let me check it out, because I had, you see the little stuff rolling on when you scroll through MSN. I was like, okay, let's see what LeVar did. So I'm watching and I'm like, okay, Mr. LeVar Ball, you were very disrespectful. You don't tell nobody to stay in their lane and then give them the hand. But I like you weren't. I saw the other thing that she was saying about his kids scared of him and he raising them to be in fear and all the other stuff, which she was going way too far because she had no idea how he raising his children. They seem to be good citizens thus far, and he seems to be the problem child in the group.
Right.
So he said that you a hater, whatever. Now, she, instead of kind of just like, okay, he ain't in no good mood or whatever, she want to stir the pot. So, well, what did I do? And then she went to the victim mode. Now, what did I do? You know what you did, and you know how that man was mad. Oh, I have a right to say that I wouldn't wear a big baller shirt. You know you said more than that, and that's why he is upset. So then she continues to stir the pot. Well, so you're not advertising to women at all. I'm like, lady, that is not what he said. But you continue to stir the pot instead of just like letting this chill. Oh, and then he says whatever, and they go back and forth and back and forth. Then he starts talking about he's scared of her, and she says something else, and then I'm like, Colin Cowherd. I don't want to call you Colin Cowherd, but right now I need you to step up and be the man, since this is your show, and say, okay, either we're going to commercial and go through a fake commercial because nobody's gonna know, and say, all right, I need everybody to be disrespectful. But I would rather you live have said, as soon as he said, stay in your lane, to have said, okay, let's be respectful of each other. This is not acceptable behavior on my show. But he let it keep going and going, and he's sitting there, well, she has a right to ask the question. Like he was scared of LeVar. Now, the man is boisterous and that, but there ain't nothing about him that we know that, he violent and might jump up and punch somebody in the face.
Right. Other than barking at Stephen A. Smith on First Take, that's the only aggression I've seen. And that was just playful aggression. But go ahead.
Right. And that's in the aggression that you would see in the barbershop. Like, when I don't have a different hairstyle, I've been in the barbershop, they be whooping and barking, talking crazy to each other. But I just was like, this is going way too far. So then we got Jason Whitlock and whoever else coming to her defense. But while you call out LeVar and whoever else, you should have called her out on her stirring the pot, because she continued to stir that pot like she had no idea why that man did not care for her.
Right. Then
she want to go, oh, he threatened me. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Not in this day and age. And you're a white woman. He a black man, and we got crazies out here in this world. We've been having them, but they continually showing up.
Yeah.
And so some of them need is a reason. So I see why Charlamagne was like, that's the same energy that got Emmett Till killed. He wasn't saying it was the same, situation, but that is the same energy, because again, some people out here just need a reason. Mm-hmm. But I could care if she was black or white. I want Cowherd to say something like, okay, let's go, like, reel this in. He just kept letting it go.
Well, just like we talked about what happened previous to LeVar being there, the episodes previous with her comments that she made, I went and watched the next day's episode after it aired, and Cowherd basically admitted he let it go on because they knew that it was going to be good TV and he was going to say something that was going to get press, and he did. Because
don't be messy.
But yeah, that's why he did it. He did it to basically catch LeVar Ball being LeVar Ball.
But that's just being messy.
Correct.
That's what that is, being messy. And I need you to be a man. Brian, if we had a guest on this show and they told me to stay in my lane and you didn't stand up for me, I would not I'll be feeling some kind of way.
They would have been cut
I'll
off.
just let you know.
They wouldn't have been nothing else to it. They've been cut straight off because
Like I can't.
yeah, all he would have had to do, and even if LeVar didn't agree with it, regardless, he still should have said, hey, let's all be respectful here. Whatever.
Like we can have a heated discussion, but be respectful. Like we can disagree, or we can agree to disagree. And if they keep going, then like I said, go to that fake commercial. But don't let this get out of hand. Cause she very well could have said something while you waiting for LeVar. She could have said something that would have went left, and then we would have had really what you just gonna fire her since y'all got to open the booth? Nobody would have known. But what or she would have been on probation or whatever they do to people when they get in trouble on like ESPN and these shows.
Right.
She'd be like, oh, where is she? She been gone for like 2 weeks. Oh, she on probation for what she said. I can't. So that is my Rantin and Chantin, part 1.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, part 2. America. This is not the white people. And if you white and watching this show and you offended, then you might have a reason to think there's something wrong with you. Black hair, there is nothing wrong with it. Now, I'm tired of seeing these kids going to school and getting called in the office telling them that they need to comb their hair or pull it up this kind of way or get it relaxed or you need to take the extensions out of it. And then go so far as to have policies, no extensions, no dreadlocks, no afro higher than 2 inches, no twists. Really? So we can't be who we are. And so then you want to instill that into my baby child. This one school went so far as 2 young girls, they was being raised by a adopted parent who happened to be white. And I suspect she took the kids to the barbershop or the beauty salon, pardon me, because she probably don't know how to necessarily manage black hair. And she got some cute little braids. Cute, tight. They weren't like, how some people just let them go. They was freshly done. She get a call talking about, they got to take some, you can't have extensions in. She was like, well, bye, Felicia. Okay, she might not have said bye, Felicia. But she said no. So then they put the children in ISS, which is in-school suspension for people that don't know. So they in ISS several days. And the lady, they interviewing the lady, and she is like, then they call all the black young girls up, like, and had them lined up, asking them, like, is that your real hair? How degrading is that for a young girl who is still trying to, find her identity? When you're young, you trying to figure it out, your looks, your hair, and all this. And then I was just like, this is going way too far. They were non-apologetic. I don't think they, I guess them kids, I don't know if they got expelled or not. They never did say. But then the next thing I see another one. They telling her she needs to get her hair relaxed. Now the parents did squash this one. And they went and changed some rules and tried to clean it up. Well, we didn't mean we didn't mean they couldn't have. We just want the hair to be neat. Well, you should say that then, and you should say well kept dreadlocks and not because I don't see some dreadlocks. I'll probably be like, you need to clean that up or cut it off myself. But that's neither here nor there. Stop attacking black hair. Like the government already has done so. By the appellate court. I don't know, Brian, if you saw this case where the lady with the dreadlocks knew that she didn't get a job because she had dreadlocks.
Yes,
and they took
yes.
Court and they said, oh, that's reasonable. In what life? We would never ask white women to start wearing cornrows or do, and white people have extensions too.
Yes, they do.
So I can't call it, Brian. Okay, I'm finished.
Yeah, my sister wore an extension in her hair at one point in her life when the epilepsy medicine she was having complications with it. Yeah, and it was thinning out. So she at one point.
Usually with white, they wear it to make your hair look full if you have thin hair. Yeah. But I'm just tired of it because it's unacceptable. Like, why are you wanting us to? What do you want us to be? We're not gonna be white.
No, and
so, and if that's our natural hair,
and going to the part where they called other black kids to the office to ask them if this was extensions and all that. Just me knowing how I was at that age, real shy, real reserved,
Right.
that would have damaged. Now I'm white, I'm not black, but if I was in that situation,
Either way, I mean, just at that age, you're trying to figure it out.
right.
And so to bring you in there and be like, that's like saying, oh, you got acne real bad. Well, you need to control that because that's a distraction. Because that's one of the terms they use, that the hair was a distraction.
Right.
Well, you don't tell kids that have really bad acne that this is a distraction.
Something that they go through and they can't
Something
help.
that they cannot control.
Nope.
Just like you cannot control what the texture of your hair is.
Right.
Okay, that's it for now.
Until next week.
Right. Something gonna happen next week. Get on my last nerve.
Yes. Well, moving right along. NBA draft lottery was this past week. Your Lakers survived. I'm not gonna get into the
Praise the
whole.
Lord, everybody.
I'm not gonna get into the whole list, but Boston got the first pick. Your Lakers got the second pick. 76ers came up third. Phoenix, God bless them, they went fourth. They just can't. Poor Phoenix. They tried to win the world.
They don't almost duped us out of one of our picks. That Nash trade. They knew Nash was broke up. Go ahead.
But what I do have some questions, and the first one is specifically for you, and it's hypothetical. and because of there's been talk of the Knicks trading Kristaps Porzingis to Boston for their pick, I switched it around and made this hypothetical as pertains to you and your Lakers. What do you say as far as the possibility of the Lakers taking their number 2 pick, trading it to New York for Kristaps Porzingis, who's obviously disgruntled? They literally just last night fired what was supposed to, quote unquote, was his favorite assistant coach. They just renewed his contract.
I didn't read the article.
Right.
Yeah, I saw it.
He's disgruntled already because of all the Carmelo foolishness and him and Phil going back and forth. He didn't show up to his end of the year meeting, all that good stuff.
Right.
What would you say to the Lakers taking that number 2 pick, trading it to New York for the number 8 pick and Kristaps Porzingis?
Yes, thank you. I'll take it.
When I wrote the question down, I said I don't know how. I went back and forth, and finally I settled on T's gonna take this deal. T will take it
because you know what you're getting in Porzingis. Like Ball, I think is going to be very good, but you still have to take it because you don't know that Nick's not going to take Ball if you really want him.
Right.
I'm not sure that Boston is not going to take Ball. Everybody keep all the Lakers. I'm telling you, if Ball was Boston, I would take Ball. One, if I didn't even, he's still the best player in the draft right now to me.
I don't truly believe this because I think his talent far outweighs his daddy. But there are people who out there saying that, if the Lakers did make this type trade or trade it down, they could still get Lonzo later on in the lottery because he will still be there because of all the stuff of LeVar Ball saying he's only going to work out for the Lakers. He's only going to play for the Lakers. That could scare a lot of teams off, and y'all could wind up with him at 8.
Well,
I don't believe that. I don't believe it. Right. I think he'll be on as well.
He's not gonna be down in no 8. That's crazy. But because in the NBA he can do all that trash talking, but they can limit. He can be talking crazy, but he won't necessarily be on the court or in no practices. And his son will quickly, swiftly, and I hope professionally say, "Dad, shut up! You're getting me killed out here." Because these grown men gonna be like, "Oh, your daddy got so much to say. We finna hammer you every practice, every time you got a summer league game. Everybody's coming for you." Which is gonna be the case anyway because Dad talks so much. But at any rate, I would take that because Porzingis, we know what he brings to the table. With the style of Luke Longley wants to play. He that stretch, that can step out and shoot the 3, because we pretty much trying to do what the Warriors are doing, is just have a bunch of shooters and driving. And at the 8th pick, we can find somebody. Shoot. The Suns found, what's that boy name that played for the Suns? He just had that 70 points.
Oh, Devin Booker.
Yeah, the
from the
Suns found
Mississippi
Booker.
Gulf
We can find
Coast.
somebody. Huh?
That represent from the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Devin Booker. Thank you.
Go Mississippi Gulf Coast. So, who knew?
He from Moss Point, Mississippi. His daddy, Devin Booker, played in the league back in the day.
Well, all y'all producers people
Melvin
that
Booker. I'm sorry,
shoot.
this is daddy. Melvin Booker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, way to go, Mississippi. I'm taking that all day, every day, because you know we still got the 28th pick too.
Yep.
And he, yeah, I'm taking that.
And this is allegedly a deep draft, is what everybody's saying. So
yeah, you know, these last drafts have been so awful. It probably is a deep draft. Like these last drafts, think of the people that you know from the last two drafts.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. You got Porzingis that came out, and Booker that has done good. What's his name got bad feet, so he ain't played. Embiid didn't even come out in the last two drafts. Like, who been good out of these last two drafts?
Nobody yet, and that all goes back to the one and done thing. I think these kids are coming out way too early, and they taking, you know, the Tracy McGrady route of, you know, sitting 3 or 4 years or not really doing anything, and then all of a sudden you blossom and you get the big contract from Orlando. But that's neither here nor there.
Stop it. Don't be messy. But yeah, it could easily be a deep draft. I mean, you got the kid from Josh Jackson or whatever from Kansas. Mm-hmm. I like the Jackson guy from North Carolina, the light-skinned guy with the little afro, the shorts.
Yes.
I don't know what his first name is. You know, the Villanova team has some good guys. Michigan's little point guard, he can stick somewhere.
I feel like we didn't see enough of Jason Tatum at Duke. I feel like, you know, just with their system.
Right, I don't know why they swear he the best thing since sliced bread. I was like, did he even play that? All you heard was what the white guy that they said was a dirty player.
Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen was usually the name they talked about. You didn't hear much about Tatum.
Right. Anyway. And the guards from Kentucky as well.
That's what I was going to say. Fox. Everybody's to like Fox and Monk. And then it's probably some people out there. You know, I think NC State had a nice little guard that had some good numbers, and but we'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. But
when is the draft?
Sometime in June. June.
Oh, that's a great. Thank you.
Yeah, late June. I don't know.
Thank you. Okay.
I do not have a date for you. And that's mainly because I just closed down my browser talking about the draft. But next question is as it relates to the draft. If they keep the number 2 pick, is the Lonzo Ball? Is he the obvious choice there? If they keep it,
if he ain't gone, I'm telling you. I keep telling y'all. I feel like Boston gonna do us dirty. We already don't like each other. This is going to be the beginning of another reason for the Celtics and the Lakers not to like each other.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Celtics, with their number 1 pick, you got Isaiah Thomas and Al Horford. I think Horford is like 30 or 31. Isaiah Thomas, 29, approaching 30. With their being an established, core that they have, should they consider trading for a more established player like a Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, Porzingis?
Who you said again?
Al Horford and Isaiah Thomas, Boston Celtics. And also, keep in mind that Gordon Hayward could opt out this summer, be a free agent, and all talk is he wants to go play for his former college coach. If he doesn't sign back with Utah, which he didn't make the All-NBA team, he doesn't get that $75 million ridiculous bonus that him and Paul George missed out on because neither one of them made the.
Didn't make the All.
And don't even get started on how ridiculous that is. But he could also end up there as well. So, got Hayward could possibly come to Boston, play with Thomas and Horford. He's obviously a 3. You wouldn't necessarily need Paul George and Anthony at that point. But could you go and package the number 1 pick? Like I said earlier in the hypothetical with the Lakers, could they package that number 1 pick for Porzingis and the number 8 pick, knowing that they got Hayward coming, obviously?
If I was Boston, that's what I would try to do. I would try to talk Phil into taking that number 1 pick and moving Porzingis however he needs to move him, which would probably be, with the Lakers and finagle some way to get out of that pick, because none of these 19-year-olds are really going to help Boston. People like Markelle Fultz. He's 19. He's not going to be the difference maker in them closing the gap between them and Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really surprised they didn't trade for Paul George or Chicago Bulls guy.
As far as Jimmy Butler, I believe the talk was he would not stay there if they would have traded for him. I think they would. That was the word, and that's what kind of scared them off from that trade.
But a lot of people say they don't like Boston, but Paul Pierce and them, and Paul was there, but he was drafted there. What's the other ones that went up to Boston? Rondo and
Garnett.
They liked it, so Boston must not be that bad. I don't know.
I mean, Shaq played there that one year when he was fat, and he just
Shaq played at Phoenix.
He filled up the number 36 jersey, and he swears his 1 year there was one of his favorite. In his career, it's just being in Boston. He enjoyed Boston.
I think it's just like that people don't know how much they love basketball and how much of a god you're gonna be in that city.
Right.
And they just think Boston is Boston. But I don't. I'm interested to see what Philly does.
Because they need a point guard. I can see them trying to move up.
Right.
But they don't have anything.
But Philly doesn't need a point guard. They need a scoring guard.
Right.
Because they got the kid that we didn't see yet. They got a point power forward.
Well, and everybody in Philly, the management is all saying they're going all in with him being the point guard. So
yeah, they got a facilitator. They need a scorer. Now, if Embiid is not hurt and can find his way to get healthy, with what's the kid name again?
Ben Simmons.
Simmons. With Simmons and a scorer, you got you a nice little team.
Yeah, they still have Okafor as well in the post.
Oh, yeah, okay. And then, yeah, okay. You got you a nice little squad with you a big guy, that can facilitate. And then if you get you, I don't know how good Markelle is. Like, I didn't see Washington play. Yeah, he averaged 25, like 5 and 5 or 6 assists and 5 rebounds.
His team won 9 games, and I understand you got to have other players besides one. Still, if he is the number 1 pick in the draft, the surefire number 1 pick, or one of the top 2 picks allegedly, his team won. Now I only saw him play once or twice. He's very talented.
You know the truth. He won 9 games.
He won 9 games at Washington.
That means they won all of their cupcake games and lost the rest. Maybe. You know how that first half of the season you played in cupcake.
Right.
And then when they got in the conference, they were garbage. And Washington ain't in no tough conference, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. People like him. He might just be a flat-out scorer. He wasn't caring. But he did pass and get 6 assists because he had like 5.6 assists a game and rebound.
So there's proof that there are other players because somebody got to make them shots.
Right. So I have nothing for Mr. Fultz. I think he's a really nice guy. I saw him. They did a little piece on him on, I don't know what show I was watching, and he was playing Uno with his mom or something while he was waiting for, I don't think it was the draft. They did a little piece. They seem like they got a nice little family that's got it together, and obviously when you can't compare nothing to the ball because they outliers. Usually we don't have all this drama.
Right.
You really think he will only work him out with the Lakers? I really think he'll do it. I think kind of force other people's hands and be like, well, we didn't see him, so we're gonna have to pass on him. Or are we just gonna go by what we saw on the court?
Anybody that'll charge $500 for a pair of shoes, I don't think
You don't put much past them.
Nope, not at all. Thank you.
Okay, so let me say this about the shoes, because I'm not a LeVar fan or nothing. But I was telling my sibling this. So the problem again with the $500 pair of shoes is your son hasn't played. But then I flipped it and I was like, okay, wait a minute. Now, whether his son does well or not, because if you watch any or know anything about sneakerheads, they are all about shoes that are limited edition.
Mm.
So if he really, like he said, it's 400 or 500 out there. About 100 of them probably gonna wear their shoes, and the rest of them probably these people that are sneakerheads, and that's why they're buying them. Those shoes are just kind of probably gonna be memorabilia shoes, and that's why people buy them. But I said the sneakerhead and the price thing because if you watch sneakerheads, them people be playing a grip for like forces that were designed by like some graffiti artist in New York that's well known, or some shoes that was made by, designed by some person that most people don't even know. And so the shoe price is outrageous only because he's done nothing. But when you look at sneakerheads and the people that's like about limited edition shoes, that's probably who's buying them. If he said 400 to 500 pair of them, so because they just want to keep them and won't wear them. Like I've seen dudes do shows and they'll be like, oh, I got these. I got the Jordan 1, 2 through 500s. I got these Kanye's. I got these. What's the skater dude? I think he got a pair of shoes. He got the video game. What's the skater dude?
Tony Hawk.
I got these Tony Hawks. I got these. And the shoes be brand new, Brian. Ain't never been taken out of the box. They got just closets and garages full of shoes that they ain't wore. Do that make any sense?
They treat shoes like most people would treat like if they got like a jersey sign and they frame it or whatnot. That's how they treat shoes.
And then you got some of them that be like, oh, I just wear them one time and that's all. After that, I don't wear them again. Huh? Really? But anyway.
Yes. Well, yeah. So moving on, staying with basketball, but switching over to WNBA. They recently.
Time out. Let's go back.
Okay.
Were you not shocked by the game Boston won?
First of all, I'll be 110% honest. I didn't even watch it.
Well, I didn't either. But when I woke up this morning,
because I just assumed, and that's what I get for assuming. As you know what they say about assuming things, but
it's out of UME.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I just assumed that it was going to be another killing because Isaiah Thomas has been announced to be out for the playoffs with his hip injury. And apparently, from all I've read, Cleveland came out there like they just thought it was going to be a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Boston made a good run on them, and everybody, if you give them a chance at the end, like my people have always said, sun can shine on the dogs in daily, and it did for Avery Bradley.
Clock is right twice a day. Go ahead. A broke clock, for me, is right twice a day.
That's better. Go with that one. But yeah, so Avery Bradley had a chance. He knocked it down. They go in the game of 5. Game 5. Game 4. Game 4. Down. No, game 5.
Yeah, this will be game 4. It's 8-2-1.
Okay, you're right. See, I already put them up 3. So yeah, 2-1. When Golden State is probably going to sweep San Antonio in the next game, so Cleveland won't get that rest. But they've had enough rest.
Well, LeBron didn't play well. He had 11 points, 6 rebounds. He said he just didn't have it. And so after that was his kind of comment. I was like, well, y'all got to get James Harden a break because that night he just didn't have it. Well, everybody was just like, he tanked, he choked, he whatever. If LeBron can say that and y'all don't give him the business, then he just didn't have it.
And I hope that everybody keeps replaying his comment, and after they do
What
that,
about just not having it?
yes, because and I want them to go back in the archives and seeing if they ever heard Michael Jordan say he just didn't have it. I want them
I'm
to do
pretty
that.
positive that's what he said. Let me not be lying. Let me make sure. I'm positive that's what he said.
Well, any rendition of that, I guarantee you, Michael Jordan never said that. Never said anything to the cause.
So very quickly, because they've been talking about, I know I'm just taking over the show. Sorry. Very quickly. The Undisputed or whoever was talking about is LeBron catching up with Michael. Well, you the Michael guy. I'm giving you the chance.
No. I'm sorry. Okay, let me be unbiased. Let me be unbiased. LeBron, like I have said multiple times on this show, LeBron is very, very talented, very, very good. But until I'm sorry, I'm still gonna hold the fact that I'm always gonna hold it against him. I don't care how many, he can go to 15 finals in a row. The fact that he ain't go undefeated in those finals like Michael did, the fact that he wasn't, there's been documented evidence the couple of times they lost. The reason his team, now, when they lost to San Antonio when he was in Cleveland, I don't count that one. He was a one-man show playing with a bunch of, C and D level players, and that was just his coming out party. He made it to the finals because he put 45 on Boston and shut them down in that series. Blah blah blah. So I don't count that one against him. But the one against Dallas when they lost in Miami with the big three, after all that, not one, not two, not three talk that he was talking at his little ceremony when he announced, when they announced the whole team together. Blah blah blah. This man was shut down by JJ Barea for the Dallas Mavericks. I will never forget the fact that he was literally Jason Terry and JJ Barea was shutting this man down. Now clearly he was much younger then, and now we see today's game. He's even last night people were saying that he reverted back. I didn't see the game, so I can't comment on it. But in the past, even in this playoffs leading up to last night's game, I have seen a change in him where he made Isaiah Thomas look like a fool, hanging on to him as he's flying to the basket, and he's taking it hard, and nobody can stop him. And I'm not saying that one day he won't eventually change my mind or come close to changing my mind, but he's got a ways to go before he even gets me to consider.
Well, my problem with it all is until you win 8 national NBA championships in a row and 11 in your 13-year career, I don't know how you're gonna put anybody above Russell. I just can't do it. Whether I'm a LeBron or Kobe or Michael or whoever fan, why everybody just can't be good on their own level? Why they gotta be compared to somebody? Yeah. Like for this era, this is his era.
Correct.
Magic was running it in his era. Him, we gonna give Bird a little asterisk. We give Bird a little asterisk to be on the 80s, 90s team. Kobe was holding it down in his era with Shaq. And now it's LeBron's turn. The next it'll be whatever kid, Simmons or Ball or whoever time or Curry or whoever. But why they just can't be the best in their era? Why they gotta be the best all time?
Yeah, I will say this about him. We're going to miss him when he's gone because he is something to watch.
He's a freak of nature, 6'8", very athletic, agile, mobile, strong. And I'm very disappointed in him that he hasn't. I honestly and truly thought if anybody was going to do the triple-double average for a year, it would have been him. But I don't know if he had never tried to do it. His skill set is he could do it. I feel like if he tried to, he would have done it before Westbrook did. But maybe that wasn't on his heart.
Right. Yeah, he definitely has the skill set to do it. I think if he really truly wanted to just focus in on that, he would do it easily.
But I was really surprised. I just thought he would be the first to do it if anybody was going to do it. But anyway, on to the WNBA.
Yes, welcome to the T Davis Show on podcast.
The Mackay T Show.
The WNBA recently, well, before the season started, announced a partnership with Twitter where Twitter would do like they've done for others pro sport outfits where they would broadcast live games. When that happened, I said, okay, they trying to do like the NFL. NFL was very successful doing this. Other ones have been as well, but the NFL was the most notable to me. And then here, last couple of weeks, they announced a partnership with Fanduel, which is a daily draft, fantasy draft thing where you can go in, play daily fantasy. You don't have to be confined to a year-long fantasy type deals. One day, pick your players for that day. Bam, bam, bam. You win, get your money, whatever. Or, you lose your money, whichever happens to you. But as far as the Twitter partnership, the very first game they did was the very first game of the year, which literally had a lot of people missing. Candace Parker was not playing; she was still overseas. Sue Bird was hurt. I mean, a bunch of stars were not in that game. They still drew 1.1 million viewers, which I thought was very good and very telling about how our society is going into this, wanting to watch things on your mobile devices, things like that. That's how people are living nowadays. Everything's about social media. Thought that was very good, very telling for them. Thought that they showed some promise as far as getting more eyes on the product. The FanDuel partnership. When I heard about this, I said, man, they are really about to gain some more viewers. Because everything I've read, everything I've seen, as far as these daily fantasy games, the people who are very successful in them, and there are millions upon millions of people that play daily fantasy in other sports. And the people who are very successful in this venture, they do a lot of research. They, obviously they're having a lot of eyes on the product, making, seeing all the ins and outs, all the analytics of the game. This, for women's basketball in general, especially the WNBA, this is going to get a lot more people looking at the product, seeing, watching the games.
I want this not to be a product. Go ahead.
But you know what I'm saying. It's going to get more eyes on the games, more eyes on WNBA, and the fan base is going to grow significantly because of these ventures. And I think that's nothing but good, because it wasn't but a few episodes ago for us where we was wondering, the marketing didn't seem very well. We wondering what they're gonna do, and they shut me up for a little while, because this really made me feel better about the situation when I saw these things.
It's good. I don't know what took so long. They know people like to make money. I mean, you got people that watch people playing video games, and for every view or whatever, they get a penny. And why would I want to sit and watch somebody play the video game? Don't it seem like you're supposed to want to play it yourself? There's just a new thing. You don't play. You just go on and watch, like subscribe to whoever player you like, and go on and watch them play other people.
Yeah,
where they do this at, Brian?
I hadn't bought in. I hadn't bought into that line of thinking. I just rather play it myself.
Right? Like, what the world? No, I'm just watch Brian play, and he'll get a penny for every person he can get to watch him play whatever game it might be. Okay, I'm so done. So dumb.
Yeah, but no, but like I said, just to wrap that one up. I think it's gonna be good for the league. I think
it will,
and that's good. That's good, because attendance is still, the games I've watched so far has not been, and I will say this till I die. I believe they should play WNBA games in that city's, like a college stadium. They should make a deal with a college, like a field house type atmosphere. I think that'll be good for WNBA until they're able to branch out into arenas. They just ain't. They're not bringing in enough fans right now. Maybe they
Well, that's
will.
what I was about to say. It's good for them to get more people to watch, but I don't know that no more people gonna show up at the games. And I think that's just starting to be a problem for everybody.
Right.
Because, you know, NFL been crying about, you know, not participation, people coming to the games. And then when y'all black, like, people can't afford all this money y'all want to pay. Now, the WNBA, they not, I suspect, not charging as much. But, like, when you got, you know, 2 kids, you and the spouse or the partner or whoever, and y'all, you know, you get there and the hot dogs and the drinks, stuff like $5 a pop. And by the time you buy some tickets and eat, you almost dropped $100-some. Most people can't afford that. For 2 hours of entertainment?
No, indeed.
For 2.5 hours long game is.
But finishing up as we always do with shots fired. Hour 9. Come to Jesus.
Come to Jesus, meeting.
First, we start off with Officer Beck bringing about some papers to Ash and Preston that he'd been holding on to that showed falsified reports on the murder of Jesse Campbell and what happened that night with the auxiliary officers, and what you know, they basically showed Arlen Cox as the killer. They tried to cover it up.
And that all those adjunct officers hadn't been trained thoroughly and were out with them and carrying weapons, which is illegal.
Carrying their own personal weapons.
And then that makes it double bad. But go ahead.
So Ash obviously brings not everything that they have on it, but brings enough to him to make Arlen Cox go and you know, basically admit to it publicly. Gets on the little press conference, admits to the killing, and, you know, just a lapse in judgment and a horrible situation. You know, he's trying to spin it the way he wants to spin it. He's going to turn himself into authorities. And Ash does this basically to get their replacements were going to just take Officer Brigham's statements and let that be done. Let him be the witness. Let him be, you know, the one that gets the immunity deal and all this, that, and the other. Ash didn't want that. She wanted Brigham to pay, so she got Arlen Cox to admit to what he did. Once that happened, Brigham deal's off the table. You know, she basically gets him screwed over on that end. But
I think first, okay, that was another one of my rants. Thank you for saying it that way. She didn't get him screwed over on anything. He's the one that was doing the dirt. And when people get caught for something, and then, you know, because somebody told whatever, and then you mad at the person, they didn't do anything. You the one did the wrong. Now all of a sudden you be like, oh, well, it's somebody else's fault for telling on you. Well, it's your fault for doing whatever the dirt was.
Right.
Now, if that lady hadn't said that he was going to have full immunity, I don't think that Ash would have went over there to the old man and said, look, you either tell your side of the story the way it's going to be told, or somebody else going to tell on you. But since the lady like, oh, no, I can do what I want to do, and he got full immunity and whatever, then that's how that came about. But, yeah, he can't be mad. He was doing dirty. It seemed like he might have had a time where I feel like the system might have made him corrupt. If you can be made corrupt. Like, you know how they had the moment where he stopped them from hosing the kids, and then he did something else. But then, you know, when he get mad at somebody, then he do the mess like he did to Ash, and then it's some more stuff that he knows. Now he dead. We ain't gonna know what happened, but he knew some more stuff because the chief or whatever was trying to keep him corralled, for lack of a better word.
Yeah,
you know,
the sheriff.
All the talk they kept having. The sheriff or whatever was like, you know, I got your bag, you got my bag, whatever. Like, he knew some more stuff. But anyway, I went down to it. Oh, we ain't got to that part yet. Go ahead. Because I was
no, and in the midst of all this, Ash loses her custody battle for her daughter.
Which she should have saw coming, and she going out. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right, and you know that whole emotional little outburst, and
I wanted to slap her. I'm like, dude, you should have known that was happening. When you left that court, that lady was pretty much like, your boo-hooing is not changing my mind. All right, go ahead.
Right. And as T already alluded to, Officer Breland was shot basically at the end of the episode outside his house. Somebody, we don't know who, pulls up, caps him right in, right
in front of his house.
Right in front of his house. Well, he was having a nice little moment. He literally, and I forgot to bring this up, he was going, he had
trying to make amends.
The scene where he goes and pulls off in the little abandoned lot, and he takes the paperwork, and just as he's about to call Child Protective Services, where he had the paperwork on all the stuff Ash had done, and all the trumped up charges they had on her, when they pulled her over that time, he was gonna call Child Protective Services. As the phone is ringing, he gets a text from his daughter, about being proud of him, this, that, and the other. And he immediately hangs up the phone, burns the evidence, and the next thing you see is him pulling up in front of his house, looking in on his family.
Well, now, he goes by the, what's the black kid that got shot? He goes to their house first.
Yes, he does. He does.
I was mad about them. Why are you going to have that boy punch a police officer? Be for real.
Yeah,
he could have cursed the man out or anything.
Yeah,
punching a police officer. Come on.
That wouldn't have fly. I'm sorry. Regardless of what they feel about him and how he's done, that wouldn't have flied in any way.
Even if it would have, it's unacceptable.
Yeah, you just don't do that.
Like, if you don't like cops or whatever, that's fine. But that right there is just out of order. Like, the man that came and said he's sorry for whatever. Punching him is not changing anything.
He's still the authority figure. Regardless, I mean, they still have that.
And I was like, whoever wrote this, I was disappointed in them. I feel like you could have had the young man curse him out or something, tell him how much he hate him. Yeah. I don't know, but the whole punching thing, I was like, be for real. And then, so that's when he goes home and he's thinking about, I guess, everything. He already had a sit down with his daughter on the bleachers at the soccer field, the base football field or something, and told her things were going to change. And so he kind of knew that he was about to try to set this record straight.
As far as a prediction, now they want us, by the way everything went down, Ash finding out about her daughter, getting all upset, leaving. They want us to believe she did, clearly.
Because they tried to show us with the Chrysler, or Chevrolet, excuse me, that the same one that her and Preston pulled up in when they met with Breland was the car that drove by. They were very intentional about making sure we saw that that was the same silver car. I was like, come on, that's too easy. Now, back on my, I ain't ranting. I'm just going to get on my soapbox a little bit for a second. One, Ash, don't try to blame Breland. Just like I said, people can't be blaming whoever for their wrong. You have been out of order. You know your husband on some get back. All you had to do was go to your psychiatrist or whatever and do what you needed to do to try to keep your child. Now, you don't lost that. You want to blame somebody else. No, that's not how it goes. There were some things that you could have done to help your own cause. Like go to a therapist. And just try to cooperate with the therapist. Tell them whatever you think they want to hear. But no, you didn't want to do that. No, I predict that she did not shoot him.
I want to know who did. I can't wait till Wednesday to find out.
Shoot, I don't know.
Clearly, since you brought about the information, I didn't even know this until you said it last week that they had not renewed the show for the second season.
Sean coming back, so they're gonna have to tell everything.
Yeah, they're gonna have to let it all out next episode.
So, I still want. Somebody said that they think that, or that the guy reached for his gun. That's why he shot him so fast when he pulled the car, got the car.
I gotta go back and rewatch it. I don't remember that. I don't
either. But somebody was telling me that he said he reached for his gun.
I feel like it came out of the blue. I feel like he didn't have time to even react because he was so all in the moment. So
that I'm interested to see the full story of what happened there because it was really fast from pulling him out the car to shots fired. Also,
no pun intended. Go ahead.
Stop.
Shots fired.
I don't know. I can't wait to see what happens to the man that said he killed him and said he played it good. He was like, and I was scared of the police because the police said they was gonna cover it up, and I didn't want to go against the police. I was like, oh yeah, you doing a good one right there. No, you lying, but you doing a good one.
Mm-hmm.
How he spun it.
Yeah, he came with a good story.
But that whole taser and gun thing that really happened in real life. That was a true story or true event where a man that was an adjunct officer pulled out his gun and shot somebody. Now, he said that he thought he had his taser when he wound up shooting the guy, but that really happened to somebody. I was like, okay, y'all done pulled some. I'm pretty sure a lot of this stuff is truth mixed in with fiction, but I have no idea what's going to happen Wednesday. It better be worth my staying up late.
I said that was going to be our last topic, but I forgot one. I have me a little pun for you this week.
Punning ain't easy. Okay,
and it's not a traditional type pun, but it is one that I had read somewhere. And anybody who has a Samsung Galaxy will understand.
Okay. Oh no!
But what do you call the security outside of a Samsung store? Guardians of the Galaxy. I love it.
Brian,
what?
That's a riddle.
That's a funny. That's a one line. That's a pun one-liner.
Okay.
Because the pun, obviously, you mentioned the Samsung Galaxy with the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, putting all that into here to now. Speaking of, not to get off subject, but Guardians of the Galaxy. I have someone, I'm not going to put his name out here. Well, we're just going to call him Buddy Lee, and you'll know who I'm talking about.
Buddy Lee, yes!
I spoke with him the other day, and he informed me that he went to this movie theater with his daughter and grandsons, and they went to see, as he called it, that Star Wars type movie. I knew which movie he was referring to, but that Star Wars type movie. He didn't. He said he was in it 10, 15 minutes. Didn't like it. Left, and proceeded to go in 5 other movies. They couldn't find what he liked. And then the whole time I'm thinking, does he not know that you're not supposed to just be popping in and out of theaters like that?
What they gonna do?
I guess.
Oh, you say I had to. Oh, I thought this was the right one. He got a ticket. He bought a ticket.
Do you have any puns for this week?
So my sibling had a pun.
Yay! Finally.
If a rapper goes to bed, when they get under the sheets, is that a rap sheet?
That's a good one.
This is mine for today. If you're on a boat and stuck behind a ferry, is that a fairy tale?
Yes. Hilarious.
Okay. Or I laughed too hard at my own fun.
Oh, goodness gracious. Oh. Well, we have gone far longer than I thought we would this week.
But y'all, we've been giving y'all short ones anyway. Last week wasn't but like 30 minutes.
Right. And you know, when I open up the show with Chantin Rantin and I let T go, it just goes. And
yeah, I knew I had a lot to get off my chest.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for us this week. As always, I'm one of your co-hosts, Brian Mackay, and I am with
T. Happy birthday, Mama Davis.
Oh, happy birthday. Yes. And this has been the Mac T Show podcast. Thank you for listening.
This is the Mac T Show. This is the Mac T Show. We talk movies and TV shows, sports and world news, coasting like on a world cruise. Hosted by Brian Mackay and T Davis. Yeah. You can't tame us. We're going to the top, we're becoming famous.
What time is it?
It's time for the Mac T Show.
What time is it?
I said it's time for the Mac T Show.